Hello and welcome to this channel where we discuss graphology, that is handwriting analysis, and psychology, psychogenealogy, and, well, other topics. So today I want to show you Brian Laundries' handwriting. And for those who don't know about this case, Brian Laundrie was a boyfriend of Gabby Petito, and they went together on a trip in a van around the United States. Then she went missing, and he came back to his family's home. She was found dead, and he went missing also. He was a suspect in this case, and then he has been found dead too. The autopsy of Gabby Petito showed that she had been strangled. He seems to have ended his life by gunshot. And where his remains were found, some of his things were found too, and among those there was this notebook. So this notebook has been released to the media just yesterday, I think. We're at the end of June 2022. And in this notebook he tells his story. He admits having killed her, but says that it was a merciful act because she was in a lot of pain after an accident. I thought it was interesting to look at his handwriting. And here, so the notebook, what has been shown to the media is made of 8 pages from this notebook. Here you can see 4 of these pages, the first one, the second one, and the 7th and last ones. So what I want to show you first is that there's a lot of differences between the first 2 pages, first of all. So here you can see the first page and the second page. So the first page, you can see the lines are ascending really very, very much, and at least in the first half, top half of the page. So ascending lines, shows some kind of impulse, some kind of excitement, strong desire to achieve something, or also it could be just being delusional, trying to escape reality. But it's something like a very strong emotional state, which, you can lose touch with reality in this kind of states. But then on the second half of the page, you can see that the lines go up and down, and there's less writing. It's more wide between the lines. It's less compact, and you can see that it goes up, then down. So it's some kind of convex lines, which means that, after this first impulse to really strong impulse, you have it fails. You cannot go. You cannot achieve what you wanted to. You give up. You're maybe exhausted. You don't have the strength to go to the end of this, and so it's some kind of emotional breakdown. After this strong desire to achieve something, there's nothing is down. It's ups and downs, but to a very strong, important point. So the attempts to realize what you wanted are unsuccessful, and this strong emotion just dies down. So this is some kind of very strong emotional state, some kind of frantic emotional state. Could be someone like almost bipolar or manic depressive, but the manic and the depression phase are just happening at the same time. Maybe it could be also after the use of drugs, or it's just the emotional state. In this, in what he's writing, he says he wants to kill himself, that he doesn't have any more reason to live, that she was is the love of his life, etc. He killed her. He realizes that he has made mistakes. That's the word he uses. So yes, you could imagine that someone going through these emotions could maybe write like this, but also maybe could want to do something and then not really do it. But anyway, what I think is very striking is that this is the first page, and then you have the second page where, the emotional state has stabilized. It's not going through these frantic moods anymore. It's like, normal. Seems to have come back to normal. So, surely could not have written like this in the first page and then like this in the second page at the very same time. I mean, something happened between the two, so maybe it took a break, maybe some time went by, I don't know, but surely it wasn't written in the same dynamic and in the same, and just following one another. So that's what I wanted to point out. And then if you look at the first page, second page, and last page, you can see that you have three different lines of writing, maybe, because in the last page you have this change of ink for these last three lines, which are very weird, where he writes, "Please pick up all of my things. Gabby hated people who litter." Well, okay. On the top of the page, he has written, "I have killed myself by this creek." But of course, if he writes this, he hasn't killed himself yet, so it's kind of weird also, but I don't know. So, there are at least three phases in this writing, I think. The first one, where he has to stop because he's not in a stable state to go on writing, or he would have went on writing in the same style. So then there's a more stable state of emotion, and then there's this thing that is added at the end with another pen or ink, I don't know. Okay. Then what I wanted to show you is that, it's presented like a letter. He addresses Gabby on the first, in the beginning, first word, Gabby, comma, so like a letter. Also notice that at the end there is no signature, so I don't know, maybe it's not over yet, maybe it's just a draft, but also maybe he doesn't take full responsibility for what he has just written. He doesn't sign. It's kind of weird because, if you write a letter and you want people to know who that you wrote it, I mean, you sign it. And signing means that you fully agree with what you've written, or that you take responsibility for what's in the letter, and there is no signature here. So I don't know, maybe you forgot, or maybe it's not the letter you wanted to send, maybe it's just a draft, I don't know. Anyway, so it addresses Gabby, this letter, and he first writes her name with a capital G. Okay, well, that's pretty normal. But then he writes her name like 7 times in all, in the 8 pages. The second one, her name appears, it's just Gabs. So, I don't know, it's kind of a nickname, a little bit, but Gabs, and no capital G. And then, as you can see here, all the other instances of her name have no capital G. So I think it's a little bit disparaging. Maybe it shows some contempt, or I don't know what. She's not treated as any other person would be, with a capital at the beginning of her name, even though he puts it at first, at the beginning, but then forgets it completely. So I thought, maybe he doesn't write capitals at the beginning of names, but yes, he does. You can see here that there's also James, who is mentioned in this text, and TJ. And this TJ is mentioned twice, as you can see here, and James has the capital G, very big one. So it's unconsciously intentional, I think. I mean, it means something that he forgot to write capital G on her name. It's not also, and he writes capitals where they are needed. At the beginning of sentences, he does, I checked. Also, sometimes they appear randomly, or not so randomly, like here in violently, in this sentence where he wrote, but she was freezing, shaking violently while carrying her. I'm not sure what he wrote here, but see this capital V, very big, very important here. So I think this word violently is important. Maybe it's not, well, why was she shaking violently? Or was he violent? I don't know, but the word is important here, and he placed a capital J, a capital V on it. Whereas he forgot to write the capital on her name, which I think means a lot. Okay, so I'm not going to comment much more about the handwriting. I think it carries a lot of anxiety also, but the stroke is very broad and smeared, but we don't know if it's the right state of it, or it's been the quality has been deteriorated by the conditions it was in. I don't know, but there are a lot of eye dots that are very big, heavy, and that's what I was showing you here. A lot of them are like that, which can be a sign of anxiety also, and maybe some kind of guilt feeling. There are all the dented ovals, which you can see here on the A, for example, in Gabs. So that's some kind of feeling of vulnerability, and it's not very comfortable. It's not feeling very well, but we don't know. It's also congested. Many vowels are completely congested. Okay, well, I think I'm going to stop here for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also can write a comment on below and tell me what you think. And so I see you soon. Bye bye.